Hey, everybody. Welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, the only show on YouTube every week where you can get your questions answered by a medical doctor who is also a champion bodybuilder. Ask Dr. Testosterone is brought to you by his book, The Bible of Bodybuilding 2, over 700 pages, jam-packed full of information on training, nutrition, supplementation, and PEDs, available on Amazon.com. And while you're on Amazon.com, pick up my book, Real Bodybuilding. It's so great. Descriptions have all the info as well. And now please welcome from Athens, Greece, Dr. George N. Touliatos. Welcome, doctor. Welcome. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Yeah, good. So
what do you think? He told me he was 248. People claim he was 260. I don't think he could add more than, let's say, 4 kilograms just for bulking and, being fuller.
Yeah.
Maybe he lost a little bit of stretch in the glutes, but he looked fuller to me. Not necessarily bigger, but fuller,
Yeah.
More retention and perhaps a little bit of more water retention. We can't claim that there is some muscle growth in 4 weeks.
No.
But he was at his best of muscle maturity, and he needs 2 years to bulk seriously. And 1 year is not enough because he needs to add, let's say, 10 kilograms, which is 20 pounds. And still, he won't be competitive because of his enormous height.
Right.
And his bones are elongated. He looks like Arnold. So Arnold had no chance in this era because of the size they pack and the different fracture. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's interested in ever doing open again. I think he's retired forever. So
well, we have to make this show is, let's say, kind of easy. But it was Sean Clarida and the winner. But if he wants to jump the Olympia, I think it's about 2 years seriously. And I don't think there's any smart decision to this.
No, he's got so much money, so many fans. There's no reason.
Family, his gym now, mostly his health, okay, and he's not hungry anymore.
Right. So God bless him, and wish him the best of luck. He's a living legend. He's got more fans than anybody, than Ronnie, Phil, Jay.
To the answer to your show, if he can beat, let's say, other people, no, because of the size, and because of the size, he dominated in his class. Come on.
Right.
On the other competitors also, this guy from Brazil, he had enormous definition. Shamil Benut believe he's the future. Dino, I think so.
Ramon Dino, yeah.
But CBum is another class in size, okay?
Yeah, I mean that's why we have classic and we have open bodybuilding. They're two very different things. So a lot of fans.
Bodybuilding is about size. End of the story.
It's been a big man's sport since the beginning of time, since bodybuilding started. So, all right. Well, let's get to some questions. We've got some great questions this week. This one affects a lot of men, so let's get right to it. A question about ejaculation timing, specifically about premature ejaculation. I always notice I have orgasm in a few minutes when I'm on a cycle. Is there an explanation for that?
When you have a primitive ejaculation, that's a problem, right?
No. Yeah, it's happening too. So he doesn't want to finish that soon. He'd like to go longer.
Well, it's a psychological thing, and most of the times, urologists tell you to go towards a psychiatrist that believe it's anxiety, and not only for the sake of the anxiety, but for the sake of the blood work. They give you SSRIs to elevate prolactin, and prolactin leads to an orgasm that means the opposite. Okay, when you don't finish.
Yeah, but do you think it's related to your sex drive is so much higher when you're on a good cycle, especially like test trends, stuff like that. When you have a higher sex drive, I think for me, I think guys tend to finish faster when it's just like when you haven't had sex in a month or 2 months or something, God forbid. You're going to finish.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't like your sex partner. Okay. You're not so wow. You're not so fascinated like teenagers or people that go with a superstar girl. And the first time is really, they mess up. So I think it's up to the year.
Yeah, probably.
Here's
a good question. I'm a woman and I use HGH and IGF-1. Will my voice change? Will my hair out? And will I age quickly?
No, you're not going to have virilization effects. Okay, neither to the voice, to the larynx, or to your hair follicles. But aging quickly, I mean, it's supposed to do the opposite.
Right.
Growth. All right. But I don't understand why you do both of them. I mean, if you do GH, then you'll release some IGF-1. IGF-1 now is a very special case. If you want to super grow or you want to use it to boys that to boys that are malnourished and they want to grow in size and in weight.
Yeah.
But okay, if you want to kill it, yeah, you can use both of it. But as a matter of fact, if you abuse GH, you release enormous IGF-1. Okay.
So, I mean, I've never used IGF-1. It's very, very expensive. But the guys who do use IGF-1, do they only use that, or do they use it in combination with human growth hormone?
I mean, I know guys that use Increlex, which is IGF-1, even amateurs, right?
Yeah.
It's very expensive. It's about $1,000 per box.
Oof.
It's legitimate Increlex.
Yeah.
But they use also a low dose of GH to burn fat.
Okay. Yeah. Because I mean, I feel like a lot of bodybuilders just use everything they can get their hands on without really thinking it through. So
I know 2 amateurs that have used Increlex.
Yeah. The late John Meadows, he used to say that at that time, most of the U.S. bodybuilders getting Increlex in the United States were getting it from the same guy in Europe, and they called him Mr. Increlex. So, I don't know who he was, but he had the market on Increlex.
Yeah.
This is an interesting question. Peptides. Can I be a natural bodybuilder if I use peptides? There are a lot of different peptides for different things. Like there's the healing ones, BPC 157, TB 500. And there are other ones that people use for muscle growth. But if you're using any of these, would you consider that person to still be a natural bodybuilder?
Well, it depends on the drug test. If the drug test is only steroid test, yes, you can use them. You can use also the SARMs. But if it's everything, you can't use anything.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder about just the BPC, because that's BPC 157. A lot of people use that for injuries. If they've had
Ron, I use it about 500 to 1 milligram per day for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, the pain is gone here.
Wow. But it doesn't make you grow any muscle. It's not a performance enhancer.
It enhances your own production of GH.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many different natural organizations. They all have their own rules. So some of them might allow and some of them might not allow. I guess, even when you say, what do you consider natural? Everyone's got a different answer. It's not
non-steroid.
Yeah, no steroids. But what if they're using all kinds of SARMs and peptides and pro hormones? I mean, that's not natural. Anyway, yeah. Because I remember pro hormones were on the market here for about 10 years before they finally got taken away.
Hormones metabolize the steroids. That's the point.
Yeah. So many guys who considered themselves natural were loaded up on pro hormones. And, they had the acne, they had the puffy face. They looked just like they were on steroids, but in their hearts, they believed they were still natural.
Yeah, in basketball league, there was a guy using pro hormone, and he was battling with DECA because he was 19 or DeAndre. Was Patrick Arnold.
Wow.
25 years ago, yeah.
It showed up as DECA on a test.
Yeah, and he said, I crossed my heart, I never touch it. An injectable, true. But this fucking pill metabolites to DECA metabolites.
Unbelievable. Anyway. Next one is, I'm on TRT, 150 milligrams, and HCG. My blood work is great, but I have low HDL. Total cholesterol, 115, HDL, 43, LDL, 60, triglycerides, 54. Should I worry? What can I do besides the 6 omega-3 I take daily?
How much is the HDL? 43 is fine. Above 40 is fine. Come on, don't worry. And LDL is like you take a statin. Come on, so you worry. What about the other people that have double of those numbers? I mean, you need to be concerned if HDL goes below 40. But it's more important your LDL and your total cholesterol, your ApoA that matches also. ApoB, matches with LDL. Okay, so don't worry about it.
Oh, I started on a new medication because I told you I quit statins, right? So I had a calcium score and it went up. It went up a lot.
Yeah, the injectable.
Yeah, it's Rybelsus or something. Yeah. So I didn't even know it was injectable.
Twice a month. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's exactly it. You take it every 2 weeks. You do one shot of 140 milligrams.
You pay for it?
Yeah, it's like $50 for 2 doses. It'll last me a month.
Because I mean, I heard it's way more experience and way more expensive. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, we have good coverage. We have a good medical good
That
insurance. So I've only done it once. I had my first Rybelta shot the other day. So hopefully it'll clear up because I don't ever want to take a statin again. I think they're bad news.
Repatha bypasses I think the hepatic metabolism. It doesn't
Right.
affect the muscle. And by the way, a runner-up, Mr. Olivia, that we hosted in the muscular development time, used the Repatha as well.
Runner up to Mr. Olympia.
One runner-up that we hosted.
Who was it? Well, we're not going to say.
Well, you know him.
Rybelta. Gosh, there were so many celebrity guests in the past.
He's in the 60s now.
Oh,
Anyway, it's not bad. It's,
gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. I know who he is now. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Training question. What is the best leg exercise to avoid lower back pain? Machine or free weight?
leg extension.
Yeah. You know, it's
Vlad said you can build legs on leg extensions if you train like an exorcist, you know?
see people like Platts and I know like Michael Hearn, they say squats are the only exercise that can do anything.
No, but I say avoid lower back pain.
Right. I mean, if your lower back is injured or has, issues, you're not going to be squatting. So, but leg press, you use the leg press sometimes, don't you?
I use it, yeah, but sometimes if you don't sit very tightly,
Yeah.
then you're gonna
Because when you injured your back, when you hurt your back years ago, was that squatting?
I was squatting, but I'm telling you, during the leg press, if you want to be injury free, you need to sit very tightly down in order your pelvis to be stuck and not move. Because if it moves, you kill your lower back.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, lower back, okay, sure, you can do it.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I just want people to know leg press is a productive exercise because you'll hear people sometimes say, "Oh, it's useless. You can't get any results with leg press."
You're using the leg press, man.
It's not true. Yeah, train like the exorcist. Here we go. I'm a 60-year-old bodybuilder on 200 milligrams test-sip a week, prescribed by my TRT doctor. My hemoglobin and hematocrit always a point over, so doctor advises me to phlebotomize. I did 1 week prior to a visit. My hematocrit and hemoglobin were still high. Should I donate closer to my blood test?
Yeah, that's a thing to do. But I think you should go to 60 days, okay, every 2 months, every 8 weeks. And also check out if you have sleep apnea, treat it.
Yeah.
And because almost all of the TRT users have sleep apnea, and this is the reason they also elevate because of the not just the testosterone, but the hypoxia that happens.
Wow.
By the way, I'm going to use a CPAP mask.
Really?
Yeah, I need it, man. And I was hiding from the truth, but my situation goes low, and I have horrible headaches because of the low oxygen. So I'm going to use the CPAP and sleep like a baby.
Wow.
Then you need an aspirin and fish oil. You need to hydrate a lot. Now, supposedly, the telmisartan and the penoxypyline improve the blood flow and the release of the hemoglobin. But do microdoses, okay, and don't go over 100 milligrams because more.
Okay. What I want to ask you about that? Do you still phlebotomize?
Of course, man. Of course, I phlebotomize every 8 weeks. Precisely, if I go to 12 weeks, I have problems and my hemoglobin goes over 19. Now I'm happy because it's between 17 and 18. That's fine for me. But if you wake up choking, man, go for it.
Yeah, I use a mouthpiece.
I
use a mouth guard. It keeps me keeps my airway open because I don't want to be.
No sleep from any stuff inside.
No, I mean I've never tried a CPAP mask. It just I don't have it because I only had really sleep apnea when I was like over 225. Once I took my body weight down, I still snored, but I didn't have that sleep apnea anymore.
You use the sticker over here to open up your nostrils.
You can use that too. Yeah, I've tried that.
Yeah.
But, the mouth guard that I use from that I promote, it works pretty well for me. I don't snore anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Our final question. I want to ask you about was this one of the ones we were going to cancel or no? DAA? Because I don't even know. I don't know what DAA is. Do you?
The-aspartic acid is a hormonal booster. You can use it.
Okay.
I mean, supposedly it's better than Tribulus terrestris and maca. Okay, now about this stuff, I never heard of it. I never tried it.
Ladogia agrestis.
No,
Never
no,
heard of that. But yeah, so DAA, yeah, did now that you explained it, it's something aspartic acid.
the-aspartic acid.
Yeah. But I mean, you're not gonna boost your testosterone levels a lot with things like this.
No, well, it pushes LH and LH total testosterone, but the point is, does it push also free testosterone? That's a real deal.
Yeah, that's true.
It's good for natty people, okay? Don't expect something. And we use it along with HG and clomiphene to the PCT to push it.
Okay.
But you see the difference to natty people in the sex drive mainly.
Yeah, I mean, TRT is in the US, it's very much been normalized, and there's a lot of clinics available.
The message yet to come with Kennedy.
Yeah, RFK Jr. I mean, I'm very happy. I'm very optimistic about the next 4 years, especially on the health front. I think Kennedy's going to make a lot of changes. That we're one of the unhealthiest first world countries on this planet. We have so much money, so much resources, and our people are so unhealthy. It's ridiculous. It's because of the way we eat. It's our diet.
I've been to the States 7 times, and I have to tell you, you need to do a little bit of research to find clean food. Huh?
Yeah, you can find junk food everywhere, fast food everywhere. But like in my town, we had a health food restaurant open up. It closed in 6 months because nobody wanted to go there, and it was great food. I loved it, but they weren't getting the business. So people love fast food, cheap, easy, greasy, nasty.
Even in Mecca, we were in Mecca, in Venice, in LA.
Yeah.
And we look at the menu and we pick up the least chunk.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the Firehouse has always been there in Venice Beach.
Oh, Firehouse is the cleanest.
Yeah, that's beautiful stuff.
Many options. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's all the questions for this week. Guys, if you have questions for next week, please post them in the comments below. We'll be glad to get them on our next episode. We're very, very fortunate to have Dr. Touliatos every week sharing his medical expertise along with his many years of bodybuilding experience and expertise as they blend together. It's a very cool thing that Dr. T is doing for us every week. So please share this on your platforms, guys. Get the word out about this show. There's very few opportunities on YouTube for you to get this kind of information every week. So please take advantage of it and help others get in on it. That's it. So thank you very much, Dr. T. Pleasure as always. And we will see you guys next week right here on